Hey guys, M13 here. I've got my SOUS VIDE, SOUSVIDE from it's the Innova one. They've been advertising hard in Taiwan. I saw a few other Taiwanese people get theirs in the same day I got mine, which literally just means that they all clicked on the same ad that I did. So, good on them for being good with their advertising. But I researched it. I didn't just see the ad and buy one. I went online, searched for reviews, read, yeah, and it's a good thing. What it does is it makes steaks
Hey,
by
past
boiling water, and then
61
you just
now.
take a steak and you chuck it in there.
Hey, it's past 61 now.
61. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I thought the grades you wanted.
That says 26, not 61. You dyslexic? You just like dick? What's going on there? Yeah. So I'm trying to make burgers. My first time using it. We'll see how it goes. I took the ground beef, lean ground beef from Costco. Let's turn some more lights on. I have to guess every time I use this stuff that's in Chinese. I have to guess which button is which. Anyways, I had a little bit of air in the thing. You're supposed to use a vacuum seal, and there's like another method to get the air out where you suck it. No, I think use a straw and you like, suck all the air out. Actually, that would work, wouldn't it? That would probably work. No, this one you're supposed to use water displacement. Like I think you're supposed to take the whole bag with the meat in it and then put it in water and then let the water kind of force all the air out of the bag and then zip it shut. But there's I was trying to do that, but the water's like that's Celsius, so the water's like hot. I'm like trying to push it. It didn't work. So I just dropped a cup in there to keep the the burgers in the water. And now I've got all this extra beef because I just wanted two burgers. But that's the smallest size that they sell at Costco. But the good news is I Googled it and you can store this kind of meat up to 4 months in the freezer. And when you thaw it, you got about a day to eat it, though. That's the problem. Yeah, so I need to. I got a bunch of Ziploc bags, so I'm just gonna like break this up into sections and put it into different Ziploc bags. And then each time I want to make burgers, just pull them out of the freezer the day before or whatever, and then they thaw, and then boom. So the way it works is like the meat is in the water. The water is 54.4 degrees Celsius. So the meat is 54.4 degrees Celsius on the outside, on the inside, all the way throughout. So it's going to cook to a perfect medium rare. And the neat thing is, I could let it cook for an extra hour, and it wouldn't overcook. It would still, because it's staying at that exact temperature, so it's only going to cook to that amount, and then it'll stay there perfectly. And you can't do that with an oven or a stove, because the way you cook with an oven or a stove is you always turn the temperature to a higher amount than you actually want, and then you leave it in for a certain amount of minutes, hoping that it gets to like the amount that you actually want it to get to. Like you turn it up to like 100 degrees Celsius, and then when it's at like cooked the right amount time, you take it out. But take it out a couple of minutes early, it's going to be undercooked. Take it out a couple of minutes late, it's going to be overcooked. But with one of these things, they call it a precision cooker because it's so precise, and it cooks exactly to where you want, and it's throughout too. But with the Wi-Fi model of this, you can be at work and get a steak cooking from work. You can pull out your phone and tell it to start cooking the steak, because cooked steaks sometimes need and like depending on the thickness of the steak, 1 to like 6 hours. You can have things cooking for 24 hours, like briskets and stuff. So yeah, you can be at work and be like have a thick steak in this thing, and then you can start it to cook, and then when you get home from work, it's literally ready. So you walk in the door, you pull your steak out. You got to sear it so that it gets crispy on the outside, because it's going to be medium rare even on the outside, and you want it a little bit a little bit hard and I don't know, seared. You want to sear just the outside, make it caramelize the outside flesh. And that's what the blowtorch is for. I have a sous vide, I have a blowtorch. Perfect burger. I'm thinking this is this is very simple stuff, but for me, this is something. This is the most effort I personally have put into a meal maybe in my entire life. I used to work at a cafe, and I used to I was the short order chef or whatever. Like, but it was a coffee shop, and we only had very few selections. So I made I used to make a really good chicken salad sandwich, open faced, and then that was about the only thing. And then everything else was just like, you know, chicken fingers and stuff that I would just throw in the oven. But yeah. So since making the chicken salad sandwich, this is the most impressive thing I've made. Which is sad. It is. Okay, so my phone is telling me that time's up, but it's not. It's not making any audio, which I thought it would. But this is beeping. So, okay. And it's interesting because the temperature isn't going down even though it's finished. So it lets, because like I said before, you can overcook and that's fine. Now I have to take the burgers out of here, and they still look uncooked kind of, because they're just, because the outside hasn't been cooked. They're not what you're used to a burger looking like. So you have to sear them quickly just to make them look normal and to give that little bit of crispiness on the outside. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, so I seared it for a little bit on one side, and you can see it's not burnt, but it looks starting to look, it looks more like a normal burger. And now I just take some cheese and put it on top, even though I already have some cheese in there, and you can see the cheese leaking out that I stuffed onto the inside. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this. And plus, since I bought the meat myself, I know it's of good quality, so you never really know what you're getting in a restaurant. This is called the Anova SOUS VIDE. It makes cooking steaks. It's primarily for steaks. It makes the world's most perfect steaks. You can choose whatever, if you want medium rare, medium, well done, whatever. You just type it in and boom, you're guaranteed to get what you want. And you can't overcook it. Because it'll, there you go. Oh, look at that. I would say there's actually a little bit of pink still in the middle, and that's because the recipe I used said to cook it for 30 minutes, and all the other recipes said longer. So I would say not perfect, but still pretty close.